starts.
Hi guys, it's Rob here. Today we have, who do we have? What's his name? Captain Riley sent in to me from, actually saw on Facebook that he was a little bummed out that he couldn't watch his replay because the patch update went live, and he had a game that he thought he did quite well in, so I offered to put it up for him, and he obliged, sent it to me. So here he is today in the Tier 8 premium battleship, the Alabama.
Enemy force detected.
Top tier, of course, with CV either side, 1 DD. So pretty much an ideal matchup. A lot of people would prefer to not have carriers in the game. So I thought this was a good example. This is exactly why I kind of started putting some of my replays up on YouTube, is because I couldn't watch any of my old replays, and I thought this was a good way to kind of archive them. So I'd throw them up on YouTube and I could watch them later. So I thought there's other people out there that might want to do the same, and I offer sometimes to do some commentary on videos for people that are proud of their past games. So shot out on this Massachusetts, and somehow, I don't know how, but somehow that scores a Citadel. I think he might have caught a shell under the waterline at just under the forward barbette. Very, very rare to catch a Citadel, of course, on a battleship at that angle, unless it's a Yamato or something. But
All stations requesting fire on the designated.
it's kind of ironic that now that he has the Massachusetts full broadside, yeah, 2 overpens and a pen and a couple of bounces, but yet the angled shot scores a Citadel. So whatever. Of course, the Massachusetts is the counterpart to the Alabama. Don't see many Alabamas out these days ever since it was first released. Lots of Massachusetts out there though. Broadside again, a healthy 9K salvo, but still no juicy Citadel. Taking some return fire from the, probably the Baltimore. And we got a Lenin charging right up the gut, so this could make things interesting. Taking some opportunity pot shots at cruisers over here. This Lenin coming up the middle looks actually might be reversing. The Baltimore makes a cardinal cruiser mistake. Aimed nicely at the waterline, but I don't think he's going to be rewarded. Yeah, overpens, glorious overpens. Front turrets out. Looks like the Baltimore's angled a little bit, so it might have helped. Yeah, you got 2 penetrations, decent, but if it would have aimed just a slight bit higher, probably could have got a double sit there. But he did appear to be maybe flat brought on. Sometimes it's a little hard to judge if they're at an angle or not. So now the Lenin is charging up the middle. Captain Riley is very active in the calling of targets out, which is a good thing. But the enemy is definitely making a push down the middle here. Lenin is a bit of a tough nut to crack, especially at nose on. Yeah, just a bounce. We're gonna try and tuck in behind this island here and see if we can get an opportunistic shot on the side of the Lenin if he decides to turn, but sadly I think he turns to his left, which doesn't give us any juicy shots. Riley here encouraging the Tirpitz to not charge in because he would be grossly outnumbered and most likely focused. The Tirpitz obliges and I think, slows down and begins to reverse. Sometimes teammates need a little bit of encouragement to not do the stupid thing. We do have a Kagero around out there somewhere, so that's something we have to watch for. Now, it looks like both of these enemy battleships are going to come through the middle, and then they take a hard right turn and start coming right towards us. So Riley decides to support the Tirpitz, which is a good move, I think. There's some Kagero torpedoes. Still trying to communicate with our teammates, which is a very nice thing to see. Now we just need these guys to turn, which I don't think the mass is going to. Be careful and try not to overexpose ourselves. But the Lenin has turned broadside to avoid torpedoes, and you do not want to pass this up on a Russian battleship. You take this opportunity every time you get. Carefully aiming, and deleted. Very, very nice. If you have a Russian battleship in your sights like that, you make him pay, because nose on, he is very difficult to deal with. So now we're going to go into close quarters brawl with a Massachusetts, which is normally something you wouldn't want to do with a Alabama, but we have numbers of teammates on our side, so damage can be mitigated. If you would have aimed that last turret a little more carefully, with a little more care, it probably could have resulted in another Citadel deletion, but that's okay. There's a lot going on, so I wouldn't blame him for that. Massachusetts finally goes down in a wither of fire. So we came out on top there with about half of our HP, which is a very nice trade, trading a Lenin and a Massachusetts for about, I don't know, a third of our health. We'll take that any day. We still got that pesky Kagero out there, though. Something that we gotta watch for. Baltimore shows up.
Reporting the position of a strategic target.
And the carrier. Nobody can pass up shooting the carrier. Got a broadside Nuremberg right in front of us too, but yeah, I would probably shoot the carrier too. So more Kagero torpedoes out there, so we should be safe for a bit.
Concentrate fire on the target.
So he's asking the team to fire at the Nuremberg, but he's going to keep firing at the CV, which looks like he's making a beeline for the island right in front of him. Lots of lead on the Enterprise, but you need lots of lead with these high arcing shells. Good hit, good hit.
Concentrate fire on the designated target.
Hopefully this Baltimore goes down to the Bismarck, which I believe he does. There he goes. We're kindly pointing out to the carrier that we need to find that Kagero, which I don't think he agrees to do, but that's okay. So we're gonna go find us the Enterprise. We got a Nuremberg right around the corner in front of us, which has some nasty torpedoes that we got to be aware of. But the Enterprise has showed up right in front of us, stationary. I think he should have stayed at the back of the map, but here he is. glorious sight to behold. This should take care of him, I'm sure. That's a good feeling.
Our team has taken the lead.
So the Big E's got some inbound torpedo bombers. Nothing too serious to worry about. There's some Nuremberg torpedoes, so that gives us the all clear to charge in. We're going to take a CV torpedo on the nose, but that's minimal. At this point, we got to start worrying about that Kagero, because he will likely have torpedoes reloaded by now. This Nuremberg has Baltimore problems, but nicely deletes our Baltimore with his torpedoes. This Charles Martel. I think he's thinking he's going to surprise this Nuremberg, but the Nuremberg is expecting a battleship to come around the corner. And Nuremberg's AP is no joke. So he quickly takes care of the
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Charles Martel right in front of us. Oh well, I guess he tried to just get a little bit extra damage, but didn't work out for him. Still no sign of that Kagero. Somebody is saying that something is a pay-to-win joke. I'm not sure who he's exactly referencing, but maybe he means the Massachusetts. I didn't see who took out the enemy Bismarck, so I wouldn't say the Massachusetts is pay to win, but to each his own, I guess. So the Kagero does have us in sight. So Riley's not going to stick around in the cap just to find his torpedoes, which got to be on the way soon. So we'll see how this plays out. The carrier is trying to spot the Kagero, but he hasn't been seen in quite some time, so it's a bit of a crapshoot to figure out where he is. There he is, and we're gonna ground right in front of him. That is not good. Might have misjudged our turning circle here, but that's okay. Grounding might have actually thrown off any torpedoes, if he had fired them already, that is. Thrown off any aimed torpedoes at our ship. But if he has not launched torpedoes yet until after he grounds, that's where it becomes a big problem. It can be very dangerous. But at that range, I thought I would have seen them by now. But nicely get ourselves tucked into safety. Sadly, that last salvo misses. Alright, 3 battleships and a carrier trying to chase down a Kagero, so this game is in the bag, of course.
Torpedoes to starboard.
There's the torpedoes. Looks like one would have caught us if that island edge was not there. But it was, so we're fine. One torpedo wouldn't have been a big deal anyway. So, Kagero is still in line of sight and behind an island. So, he's just going to drag this out as long as we can, I guess. Kagero doesn't even appear to be firing any AA guns, so. But the fighters will keep him spotted, so we'll know when he comes around this island. Still got AP loaded, but that's okay. So to kill him with this salvo, we would need about 8 overpens, but luckily something hits him. Must have been a torpedo from the carrier. So now we need about 3 overpens to finish this guy off. And yeah, at that range, that's going to happen. So that's the end of the game. So a very well played round by Riley in this match. 145,000 damage, very respectable. A juicy 5 citadels with only 52 hits, so that's very high efficient damage for the amount of hits that he got. Luckily, the Kagero did not fire or focus on us too much, so we didn't have to dodge any torpedoes, which left us very healthy at the end of the game, which was nice. 3 kills on the match. 42 secondary hits, which resulted from the close encounter with the Massachusetts and the Lenin in that brawl situation. Team-wise, you finished actually second with a very, very well played game by our friendly Massachusetts, who also had 3 kills and 46 airplane kills, which means he was probably heavily focused by, by the enemy Enterprise. 7 planes for us with a just over 2,000 base XP, which is very nice. Very rarely you see 2 players on the same team with that much XP, but that's the way this one worked out. Very nicely done by both of those guys, and I believe the Fuso did very well as well, with being bottom tier in this match, which is quite tough in a battleship, especially a Fuso in a tier 8 match. 51,000 damage on the Big E, or the Lucky E as some call it. 27,000 damage on the Lenin, which I think was pretty much from that one salvo. So, of course, he had to dodge torpedoes, and that's why he even turned that to give us that nice target to shoot at. So, very well done, Captain Riley. I was very pleased to do this one for you. If you have a nice game in the future you'd like to put up, don't be afraid to send it to me. If anybody else would like me to put something up for them, all you have to do is send your replay in to, I believe it's zeRobsReplays at gmail.com. The link is in the description. There's a bit of a description on how to send it in to me. Please include any screens like this from that game, so I can include them at the end of the game. So very well played. Thank you for sending that one to me, Captain Riley, and good luck in your future games. Thanks. Have a good night.